Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's creepypasta comes from an anonymous user, and it's about a hotel room that no one should enter. Enjoy. The night clerk at the old Maplewood Hotel didn't ask questions. He'd seen enough strange travelers pass through the doors of the lobby to learn that sometimes it is best just to keep his mouth shut. To his knowledge, these people were mostly just drifters, looking for somewhere to sleep off the alcohol or lay low for a while. Sometimes they'd come bearing nothing but a duffel bag and a weary smile, ready to pay for their stay with stacks of dollar bills. Sometimes they'd be accompanied by 2 or 3 other people, all silent and sullen, staying in one room together under the same alias. The night clerk had learned to avoid asking too many questions. Most of the time, he didn't want to know the answers anyway. But there was something different about the man who walked through the door at 11:57 p.m. on November. The bell above the door chimed merrily, its cheerful tone at odds with the unsettling feeling that seemed to ooze off the newcomer like a second skin. He was tall and gaunt, wearing a worn leather trench coat and a fedora pulled low over his eyes. His hands were clasped behind his back and his thin lips pressed into a hard line. The man was carrying a briefcase and his eyes, which were sharp and intense, stared straight ahead at the register. He checked into room 313 just before midnight. No bags, no ID, just a cold stare and a handful of cash. The night clerk at the old Maplewood Hotel didn't ask questions. He'd seen enough strange travelers pass through to know when to keep his mouth shut. The man signed the guest book with a shaking hand. His name was written in thick, uneven letters. Thomas Gray. The clerk slid the key across the desk. Room 313. Top floor. The one nobody asked for. Thomas took the key without a word and disappeared up the creaking stairs. No one saw him again after that. The next morning, housekeeping arrived early. They stacked the breakfast trays outside room 313 and waited for the Do Not Disturb sign to be removed from the doorknob. But day after day, week after week, the sign stayed put. The cleaning staff said it was the longest they'd ever had a room go without being cleaned. By the time December rolled around, they were wondering if Thomas Gray had checked out or worse. But then one Thursday, a call came into the front desk. It was about room 313. The clerk picked up. There was silence on the other end, just heavy breathing. Then a voice. Low. Hollow. Like it was coming from underground. He watches me through the mirror. Click. The line went dead. The hotel owner ordered the door unlocked that evening. He called the police and went up to room 313 with 2 of the staff members. They found the room empty. No Thomas. No bags. But something was wrong. The wallpaper had been scratched off in long, frantic claw marks. The mirror was shattered, and across the bathroom wall, written in what looked like dried blood, were the words, "He's still here." They reported it to the police. They checked security footage. No one had entered or left room 313 since the night Thomas arrived. No sign of forced entry. No window opened. No hidden doors. He had simply vanished. The room was locked down for investigation. Days passed. Then a guest staying in room 312, right next door, complained of noises, whispers, scraping sounds, crying, over and over again. Please, don't look in the mirror. When staff entered room 313 again, everything had changed. The scratches were gone. The mirror was intact, and on the bed was Thomas Gray's coat, folded neatly. Inside the pocket, a note. It lives in the reflection. It copies you. It waits. The hotel shut the room permanently, nailed the door shut, painted over the number. But strange things kept happening. One housekeeper quit after seeing a man standing inside room 313, even though the door had not been opened in months. Another staff member refused to clean the hallway near that room, saying she kept hearing her own voice whispering back at her. The hotel brought in priests, ghost hunters, psychics. Nothing worked. Then last winter, a teenage boy named Charlie snuck into the building on a dare. He live-streamed himself exploring the top floor. Viewers watched him laugh, joke, and finally reach room 313. He pulled the boards off the door and went inside. The stream stayed live for 8 more minutes. In those 8 minutes, viewers heard the boy whisper, "It's not me in the mirror." Then screaming. Then silence. The camera dropped to the ground, showing nothing but the edge of the bed. Police searched for him for weeks. Never found a body. But inside the room, scratched into the mirror again, in perfectly reversed letters, were the words. Another one crossed over, and on the stream replay, just before the screen goes black, you can see a figure in the mirror, tall, smiling, wearing the boy's face, but standing still. As the real boy runs for the door, the Maplewood Hotel burned down 6 months ago. But locals say at night, if you pass the ruins and look through the broken lobby window, you'll see a hallway that should not exist. And at the very end, a door, still closed, still waiting. Room 313. And maybe, just maybe, someone is still inside, but not someone you know. Not anymore. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more creepy stories. And if you want to hear more from me directly, you can follow me on social media. Until next time, don't look in the mirrors, kids. Bye.